When I married Mark 3 years ago, I knew that becoming a stepmother to his son, Tyler, would come with its own set of challenges. Tyler was 11 when Mark and I got married. He had always been a polite but distant kid, keeping mostly to himself and preferring the company of his video games to family dinners. I never pushed too hard, giving him the space he seemed to need, hoping that in time he would come to trust me not as a replacement for his mom but as someone who genuinely cared about him. Over the years, we built a kind of quiet understanding. Tyler would join in for movie nights occasionally, laugh at my bad jokes sometimes, and even ask for help with his homework every now and then. It wasn't the picture-perfect bond one used to daydream about, but it was real and I treasured it. One Thursday afternoon, after Mark had left for a business trip, Tyler came into the kitchen while I was cooking dinner. He hovered awkwardly at the counter, his hands shoved deep into the pockets of his jeans, his sneakers scuffing nervously against the tile floor. I noticed his cheeks were a little flushed, and I immediately worried that maybe something was wrong. "Hey, buddy," I said, keeping my tone casual. "Everything okay?" He shifted his weight from one foot to the other, then finally blurted out, "Can I ask you something?" "Of course," I said, setting down the spoon I'd been using to stir the pasta sauce. "Anything." He glanced toward the living room as if making sure we were alone, then back at me. "Will you help me with something? Something important?" My heart skipped a beat. 1,000 possibilities flashed through my mind. Maybe he was being bullied at school, maybe he needed advice about a crush, maybe something had happened with his mom. I nodded, trying to stay calm. "Sure, Tyler. What's going on?" He exhaled sharply, as if he'd been holding his breath. "I want to ask someone to the school dance. I don't know how. I kinda need help." For a second I was speechless. Of all the things I had imagined he might ask, this had not been on the list. My serious, video game-obsessed stepson wanted advice about girls. About a school dance. My heart warmed so fast I thought it might melt right there in my chest. "I would love to help," I said, trying not to let my excitement show too much and scare him off. "Who's the lucky girl?" He gave a sheepish smile. "Her name's Emma. She's in my English class. It's really cool. She likes the same video games I do, and she's super funny." "Emma sounds amazing," I said, smiling back at him. "Have you talked to her much?" "A little," he said. "We teamed up for a project last month. But asking her to the dance? That's different." I nodded, remembering all too well the nerve-wracking awkwardness of middle school dances. "It definitely is. But you're brave for wanting to ask her. That's awesome." He looked relieved that I wasn't making fun of him or treating him like a little kid. I was thinking of maybe giving her something. Like, not flowers, that's kinda cheesy, but something cooler. "You know," I thought for a moment. "Maybe something related to the games you both like. Like a small, funny gift that would make her smile." His eyes lit up. "Yeah, that would be awesome." We spent the next hour brainstorming ideas. Tyler decided he wanted to make a custom controller skin with a message on it asking her to the dance. I offered to help him order the materials online and even helped him design it. He chose bright colors and included a little pixelated heart on it. It was nerdy, sweet, and absolutely perfect. Over the next few days, Tyler worked hard on the project. I watched him grow more confident, and I made sure to be there to offer encouragement without taking over. Meanwhile, I couldn't help but marvel at how much he was growing up, how much he was starting to open his heart to the world, and to me. The night before he planned to give Emma the gift, Tyler came to my room, knocking shyly on the door. "Can you come with me tomorrow after school?" he asked. "When I give it to her. I think I might chicken out if I'm by myself." My heart swelled with pride. "Of course I'll be there." The next day I picked Tyler up from school, and we sat together in the car for a few minutes while he worked up the courage. Finally, he nodded determinedly, grabbed the little box with the custom controller skin, and marched inside. I followed at a respectful distance, pretending to check my phone so he wouldn't feel like I was hovering. I watched from afar as he approached a girl with curly brown hair and a bright blue backpack. Tyler handed her the box, his face beet red. She opened it, looked inside, and then gave him the biggest, most genuine smile I had ever seen. Then she threw her arms around him in a quick, excited hug. Tyler turned and gave me a thumbs up, his grin stretching from ear to ear. I couldn't help but tear up a little. On the ride home, he was practically bouncing in his seat. "She said yes," he exclaimed for the 100th time. "I'm so proud of you," I said, meaning every word. As we pulled into the driveway, I thought that would be the end of the surprises for the day. But as we got out of the car, Tyler turned to me, suddenly serious. "Hey, I was thinking," he said, scuffing his shoe against the ground like he always did when he was nervous. "Since you helped me and all, I wanted to ask you something else." "Anything," I said, smiling. He swallowed hard. "Would it be okay if I started calling you Mom?" For a second I forgot how to breathe. Tyler had never called me anything but my first name, always respectful but distant. And now, standing there in the soft glow of the porch light, he was offering me the most precious gift I could have ever imagined. Tears welled up in my eyes, but I managed to nod and croak out, "I would love that more than anything." He gave me a small, shy hug, and for the first time it felt like every wall between us had crumbled. Later that night, as I sat on the couch with Mark, recounting everything that had happened, I realized how much love could grow in the quiet, patient spaces we sometimes overlook. Tyler's surprising request wasn't just about a dance or even about a new title. It was about trust, about family, about the deep, unshakable bond we had built together one small moment at a time. The next weekend, as we shopped for Tyler's outfit for the dance, he grabbed my hand in the store without even thinking about it. It was such a small gesture, but to me it was everything. When the night of the dance arrived, Mark and I sat in the car, watching as Tyler, dressed in his best shirt and tie, nervously adjusted his collar and grinned when he saw Emma approaching. She wore a simple dress and carried the controller skin proudly in her hand. They looked awkward and adorable as they walked into the school gym together. Mark squeezed my hand and smiled at me. "You did good," he said. "No," I replied, feeling happier than I had in a long time. "We did good." As we drove home, I thought about how life rarely unfolds the way we expect. Sometimes the most beautiful moments come from the smallest, most surprising requests. And sometimes, if we're lucky, they change our lives forever. That night, as I tucked Tyler into bed and kissed his forehead, he whispered, "Good night, Mom." And just like that, my heart was full in a way I had never known before.